In a small, dimly lit prison cell, there resided a man named James. He was serving time for a crime he regretted deeply, a crime of anger that had spiraled beyond his control. James was a man with a hardened exterior, but a heart that longed for redemption. For years, he harbored bitterness and guilt, replaying the moment of his transgression. One day, he began writing letters to Sarah, the victim's mother, seeking her forgiveness. He poured his heart into these letters, describing the genuine remorse he felt, praying that one day they might reach her and bring him peace. However, these letters were never meant to be sent. They simply sat under his mattress, never to see the light of day. On the outside, Sarah lived a life shadowed by loss. She was a woman of faith, attending church every Sunday, knee-deep in her Bible studies, yet struggling with forgiveness. As time went on, something within James began to change. With each unsent letter, the act of writing became therapeutic. He began to understand the magnitude of forgiveness, in granting it and in seeking it. Slowly, James felt a lightness in his heart, a breaking of the chains that bound him in his cell of regret. Meanwhile, Sarah continued her journey towards forgiveness. Her pastor often spoke of Jesus' teachings on mercy and forgiveness, emphasizing that to forgive was not only an act of grace for the one who is wronged, but a liberation for the soul of the one who forgives. Both James and Sarah prayed sincerely, in their own worlds, for healing and peace. James prayed for Sarah's peace and the courage to eventually send his letters. Sarah prayed for the strength to forgive and the vision to see beyond her pain. Months turned into years, and James decided to finally send the letters. However, due to an administrative error, the letters never left the prison. Yet through divine providence, Sarah reached a point in her spiritual journey where she forgave James in her heart without ever reading his letters. She realized that forgiveness was a gift she gave first to herself. A few weeks later, James learned the letters had never been sent. Distraught initially, he soon understood that the journey towards forgiveness had been more for him than he had realized. The act of contemplating and yearning for forgiveness had transformed him. One day, both Sarah and James met at a reconciliation program organized by the prison. Amazingly, when they met, there were no words of anger or sadness, only a serene silence and a shared moment of understanding. James said, "I am sorry," and Sarah replied, "I forgave you long ago." Both left the meeting with a sense of peace, having learned that forgiveness is a path to healing, created by surrendering one's own burdens to God. The lesson of this story is that true forgiveness often takes root within the heart long before it materializes in the world, teaching us that, forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone who sins against us.